Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Empowerment with Elizabeth. Today I am here with my sweet new friend Madeline, and she is going to talk to us about her dance journey and dancing for Kentucky's dance team. So Madeline, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Madalyn Trent, and as Elizabeth said, I currently dance at the University of Kentucky. I am currently from Pittsburgh, or I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I grew up dancing there, and the dance environment was pretty competitive. I danced at Studio 19 Dance Complex. I loved it. I had the most wonderful experience, and it led me into collegiate dance. Um, I currently study integrated strategic communications and business at UK, and it's been absolutely wonderful. All of my siblings, I'm the youngest of four girls, went to UK, so that's kind of what brought me here. And other than dance, I really enjoy reading, but when you're a collegiate athlete, there's not a lot of time for a lot else. So it's mainly just dance.
Fair, fair. So talk to us about, your dance journey. When did you start? You said that you danced at a studio, so kind of walk us through what that looks like up until now.
Yes. So I started dancing when I was 2. I am the youngest of 4 girls, so my mom had us all in dance. We lived at the dance studio. I grew up dancing, um, you know, from as long as I can remember. My sisters would be on stage and I would be, barely able to walk, probably couldn't form full sentences, and I was on stage in the front doing what they were doing because I knew the choreography. So it's been a huge part of my life just for as long as I can remember. And I started competing at the age of 9, so which nowadays I'm pretty sure that's considered a late bloomer, which when I was growing up dancing, it was not. Um, and I trained in only studio dance. Where I'm from, we don't have high school dance teams. It's very large nowadays to, UDA. UCA gets into the high school scene, and that is just not a thing where I'm from. So I was strictly studio. And I danced at, like I said, Studio 19, and I was trained in ballet, tap, hip hop, jazz, contemporary, lyrical, ballroom, like anything you name it, I've taken it and done it. I've done conventions and competitions for a very long time. That was, the major thing that we were into, and that took up majority of our time. I would dance 40 to 60 hours a week in high school, and it got to the point where I was homeschooled for it, because it was so much. And I graduated high school in 3 years and ended up coming to college when COVID hit because I knew I wanted to dance. So that has been it's been the biggest part of my life for as long as I can remember, and I've known how to do it since I've known how to walk. So
I
that's
love
kinda
it.
how that started.
I love it. So talk to us about, why specifically you chose Kentucky's dance team.
Yes, so my oldest sister all of my sisters went here for school, but my older sister was actually on the dance team here, so I'd been exposed to it since I was 4 is when she left for college, and I'm been fortunate enough to dance for the same coach that my sister danced for, so I've known her my entire life. And she was always a key part of, my dance journey and my dance career, and I always wanted to be just like my older sister. So it was more so of like why I wanted to be a part of this program and who I wanted to dance for, and I wanted to follow in her footsteps because I think there's so many people in the college dance team nowadays. Like there's no such thing as a bad college dance team anymore. I think everyone's really leveled up their game, and picking is impossible, but you really have to find a school and a program that fits who you are and who you want to be, and that's what I found in Kentucky. So as much as it was I wanted to follow in her footsteps, I really found a home in this university, in this program, because it just aligned with what I wanted.
Yeah, so you knew for a while that you wanted to be on Kentucky's dance team. So what did you do prior to auditions to prep?
Yes, so it was a long process for sure. I think I'd never held a pair of pom-poms in my life. Like that was just not a thing that I did. And at Kentucky, we were mainly a hip hop team, but we also do a lot of pom, especially at games. And we're a game day school, so sidelines and everything like that is all pom based. That is all crowd oriented, and that was just nothing that I had experience in. So I was a little tragic at first. I can't lie about it. I had no idea how to even do a high V. It was bad. So I think it was a lot of watching and learning. I spent countless hours on YouTube researching Kentucky hip hop routines, Kentucky game day in the past, and Kentucky fight song and on the sidelines. And I was fortunate enough to have my older sister who knew things, knew how to correct me. Um, but it was a lot of research, and I think that that's like a really great way to learn about your team and what you want to do. And also just the skill set of different tricks of having a head spring and a bronco and things like that. So definitely a lot of trick work, and because that's the first part of tryouts, at least at UK, is it's always tricks and turns and jumps. And so it was a lot of drilling and conditioning. And I started cross training while I was doing all of that. So just some weightlifting and Pilates and yoga for flexibility and swimming because it's just really great for you and it gives all over body endurance, which I think dance is truly one of the hardest things because you have to have the strength to be able to either get low or stay high.
Mhm.
And you have to have the agility of a football player running down the field and the stamina to do so as well because it just is continuous. So it was definitely a lot of work, but it was worth every minute of it. But that specifically here for UK, I would say definitely the trick work and even just personal style of hip hop and knowing what kind of hip hop you're good at, what you bring to the table, and even just performance. And I had to practice looking up because I think as competitive dancers, like I said, I've just did studio, so I wasn't used to looking up, but your crowd is up. So now I have the rule of thumb of you have to keep a little like L under your chin to like keep looking up and around at your field and your crowd and your people and even your judges when you compete. So there was a lot I had to learn and a lot I had to go over, and it was performance, it was cross training, it was drilling everything. So it was pretty much all of that.
I love it. I love it. So, what is the most difficult part about being a collegiate dancer to you?
I would say your time management is what I tell a lot of people. Have had the wonderful opportunity to work with a lot of girls coming through the collegiate scene where they want to go, and being able to be a mentor because now I've been here for 4 years and I'm officially like a has been there, done that, and which is really sad. Like it's a sad revelation to be like, wow, okay, I'm almost done, and now people are looking to me to be like, hey, what do we do? And you have to go back and think through all of it. But I think time management is one of the biggest things because as especially on dance team, we have 2 sports a year plus your own season. So you have the longest season out of any other sports team or more, whatever out at your university because you cover different sports. So our football season, like this year, we had 8 home games, and I think we have 27 basketball games, and it spans over however many months. And then you have a national season, so you stay extra. So we got like 3 or 4 days for Christmas break this year, and that's it. So, and then on top of this, like we go to class every day, and you have to know how to balance your schoolwork and what you're doing because student always comes before the word athlete. And it's a learning curve at first, 100% for everybody. No matter how organized you are, it takes a second. So specifically at UK, we practice from 5:45 to 8 a.m. Monday and Wednesday. Thursdays we go 6 to 8 p.m. and then Sundays we go 3 to 6. That is the base practice schedule. More can be added. They're rarely taken away. And there's games and appearances and community service events and everything on top of that. And you're required to have all of those. So you could be going from, you wake up at 4:30, 4:45 to get to 5:45 a.m. practice. You're done at 8 a.m. You're in class from 8 a.m. to 2:30 most days, and you could have a 9 p.m. basketball game that night. So, and you got to get homework done, and maybe you have a sorority meeting, and maybe you have other things. So it is a lot to pile on your plate, but knowing how to do so, like I feel like I can do anything in a day nowadays. And if I only have, 15 things on my to-do list, I'm like, wow, short day. This is great. So I definitely think that it teaches you that along the way, but it's also important to have that skill set coming in and just having that idea in your head of, okay, this is going to be a lot, but backing that with I can handle it.
Mhm.
Um, and having the positivity to do so and that teammate mindset is always important because you're not the only one in there and you're not the only one going through it. So like yes, you may have a busy day, but the girl next to you also has a busy day. So just remembering that and there's and specifically on UK there's 50 of us in there. So it's definitely like, hey, I got your back, you got mine. If you need something, I can help you out along the way, but we're all running that same schedule of okay, this is a lot. So that would be that's always my biggest advice, especially for high schoolers, as like maybe mom drops you off at dance, like mom is not here. So you've got to get yourself there, have one of your teammates get you there, and then your homework gets done because you have to do it. And there's still somehow time for other things as well. Like you can have a life outside of dance. Absolutely. It just takes work.
Mhm. Absolutely. So on the flip side, what's your favorite part about being a collegiate dancer?
Oh my gosh. I I love the community that comes from it. So you have these wonderful teammates that just, are best friends for life. And you walk in and you're kind of nervous on the first day because you're like, ooh, I don't know. Like I'm a little scared. But our coaches have created an environment for us where if you have a crown, it comes off when you walk through the door, and everyone is so supportive of one another. So, being able to find those friends and those teammates is wonderful because you have, bridesmaids for when you get married someday and the people that you call when you're having an awful day. So them along with the community of people. So UK, we call it Big Blue Nation. The Big Blue Nation is truly the best thing I've ever been a part of. The fan base is wonderful. We have a wonderful basketball team and a wonderful football program. So the fans for that are just they bleed blue, seriously, and they're at everything. And they're there to support the basketball team, but we get included in that. So just that feeling of warmth and hospitality, and there's nothing like Southern hospitality, especially being from the North, you don't experience it a lot. And then you come to the South and you're like, wow, this is great. People like say hi to you on the street. This is awesome. So just the fan base that I've gotten to encounter and um the community of people, like I'll be in Starbucks and someone will recognize me and be like, "Hey, you guys did a great job at last week's game." And it's, "Oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing." So, that's been the relationships too that build from that are phenomenal. So, that's been the best part. My teammates and the people that, bleed blue and are there to support us as well.
I love that. And you said that you've had the opportunity, especially as a senior, to mentor a bunch of girls coming through. So talk about, for our final question, a piece of advice that you would give to a girl auditioning for a collegiate team this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So always just be yourself. Everyone's personality needs to shine through because that's really what makes you special. And even if there's things that you need to improve on, you're even the seniors on that team, like we're nowhere near perfect. We're not. But what keeps us there is our work ethic and we all work well together, but also we've all learned how to be authentically us, and I think that's the biggest thing that especially as a freshman you can lose, or just a high school senior coming out because you've been in your environment for a long time. So always be true to yourself and be the bigger personality if you have one, or if you're a little bit more quiet and reserved, keep it that way. That's okay. You don't have to pretend to be anything you're not. You don't have to be exactly like one of the girls that you've seen on that team for multiple years. We're not looking for repeat personalities. We're looking for real ones. So I think that's the biggest thing. And just, you've got it. Like that always has to be your mindset. You keep it as I can do this and move forward.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Madeline, for coming on and giving us some of your insight and kind of a behind the scenes look at being a collegiate dancer.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And I will see the rest of you guys on our next episode. Bye, y'all.
Bye.